You could be living with liver inflammation right now and not even know it. The signs are subtle, the damage is silent, but the consequences can touch every part of your health. In this journey, you'll uncover what your body has been trying to tell you and how to finally support it the right way. Have you ever felt exhausted for no clear reason, like your energy just disappeared overnight? Or noticed your skin looking a little dull, maybe even slightly yellow, and thought it was just stress or lack of sleep? What if I told you that your liver might be quietly crying for help, and you wouldn't even know it? Liver inflammation doesn't always scream. Often it whispers. The liver is one of the most resilient organs in the body. It works day and night to detoxify, metabolize, digest, and regulate. It's like a silent hero, filtering everything we eat, drink, and absorb from the environment. But even heroes can be overwhelmed. When the liver becomes inflamed, it doesn't always show up in ways we expect. You might feel fine for a while, just a little bloated after meals, a bit more tired than usual, maybe some unexplained mood swings or headaches, and we brush it off, blaming our fast-paced life. But underneath, something is brewing. Here's what most people don't know. Liver inflammation can be present long before any lab result raises a red flag. It can silently progress, affecting how you feel and how your body functions without ever being clearly diagnosed. And that's what makes it so dangerous, because we delay action. Now imagine this. You're following a common North American diet. Breakfast is a quick muffin with coffee. Lunch is a processed sandwich or a frozen meal. Dinner is rushed, heavy, and often eaten in front of the TV. Add to that the weekend drinks, late-night snacks, medications like acetaminophen, and stress levels that never seem to come down. Each of these habits alone may seem harmless. Together, they form the perfect storm. The liver does its best to keep up, but over time, this lifestyle begins to overload its capacity. And the result? Low-grade, chronic inflammation that slowly chips away at your health. And here's the part few people realize. If not addressed, this inflammation can evolve into something far more serious. I'm not saying this to scare you, but to open your eyes to the possibility that your body might already be asking for a reset. One of the most important things to understand is that liver inflammation doesn't only affect your digestion. It can affect your brain, your hormones, your sleep, your skin, your weight, and even your mood. It's a systemic domino effect. But here's the good news. Your liver is also incredibly capable of healing. In fact, given the right conditions, it can regenerate itself. And that's what we're going to focus on. By the end of this journey, I'll share with you a powerful bonus tip, something natural, safe, and often overlooked that can dramatically boost your liver's recovery. But be warned, it only works when used the right way. That's why it's so important that you don't skip ahead. Because when it comes to your liver, the wrong method or dose, even of something natural, can cause more harm than good. So stay with me, because each insight I share could be the one that changes everything. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Taking the right steps now could mean the difference between a body that thrives and one that struggles silently for years. Remember, what you feel as normal today might not be normal at all. It could be your body adapting to something it shouldn't. That dullness, that fatigue, that stubborn belly weight, it might not be aging. It might be your liver. And if you're thinking, but I haven't felt anything that serious, that's exactly the point. Liver inflammation doesn't wait for symptoms to get loud. It progresses quietly until it no longer can. So let's stop ignoring the signs. Let's learn to listen. And more importantly, let's learn to act naturally, safely, and effectively. Because what I'm about to tell you next is one of the most misunderstood pieces of this entire puzzle. Ignoring it won't just slow your results, it could set you back and even bring unexpected side effects. And we're not going to let that happen. If you've been brushing off that persistent fatigue, that feeling of mental fog, or that occasional pain in your upper right abdomen, you might want to pause and take a closer look. These symptoms might not be random. They might be your liver talking. Liver inflammation shows up in ways we don't always expect. It doesn't just present itself in blood tests or doctor visits. It shows up in everyday experiences. And if you're like most people, you've probably overlooked them. Take brain fog, for example. Ever struggled to focus at work, forgetting things more easily, or just feeling mentally heavy? You might chalk it up to stress or poor sleep. But when your liver is inflamed, it struggles to break down toxins properly. Those toxins don't just stay in the liver. They circulate, affecting your brain, your energy, your clarity. And then there's the skin. Maybe you've noticed unusual acne, skin sensitivity, or an itchiness that seems to come out of nowhere. The skin is one of the body's major detox pathways. When the liver can't keep up, the body redirects those toxins to be released through the skin. And the results aren't always pretty. Even more surprising? Emotional shifts. That's right, your mood can suffer too. An inflamed liver can disrupt your hormonal balance, leading to irritability, anxiety, or even mild depression. And yet, so often, these feelings are attributed to external stress alone. Now let's talk about your gut. Bloating after meals, indigestion, or irregular bowel movements aren't just gastrointestinal issues. They're often linked to liver stress. When your liver is inflamed, it impacts bile production, an essential element in breaking down fats and aiding digestion. Without that, your digestive system gets sluggish and out of rhythm, and if you're someone who exercises and eats reasonably well but still carries stubborn weight around the midsection, listen closely. Chronic liver inflammation can slow down your metabolism, alter insulin sensitivity, and make it incredibly hard to burn fat, especially visceral fat that sits around your organs. This is particularly common in people who follow the typical North American diet. A daily routine of refined sugars, high fructose corn syrup from sodas, excessive red meat, and a lack of vegetables rich in fiber and antioxidants gradually overwhelms the liver's ability to detoxify and regenerate. Add that to over-the-counter medications like acetaminophen or NSAIDs taken frequently for headaches or pain, and you have a recipe for liver distress that goes completely unnoticed. But don't lose hope. The first step is awareness. By learning to associate these seemingly minor symptoms with deeper imbalances, you begin to understand the powerful role your liver plays in overall wellness. Imagine waking up with more energy, having clearer skin, better digestion, and a mood that feels light and resilient. These aren't fantasies. They're the real-world effects of supporting liver health. And it starts with recognizing that your body is already giving you clues. You just need to start listening. Let me be clear. Not every case of fatigue, skin flare-up, or digestive issue points to the liver. But when multiple of these signals appear together, especially without any other clear cause, it's a strong indicator that your liver is under stress. And here's where many go wrong. They try to fix each symptom in isolation. A cream for the skin, a pill for the fatigue, a diet for the weight. But they forget to look at the root. The liver isn't just one organ in the chain. It's the conductor of the orchestra. Support it, and the entire system can begin to harmonize. In the next step, we're going deeper. Because one of the biggest mistakes people make is not understanding the true causes of liver inflammation. And missing that can lead to years depleting your health without realizing the real issue. And more than that, it can lead to side effects that make everything worse. You're about to uncover one of the most crucial pieces in this healing journey. And ignoring it won't just slow down your results. It can cause a rebound effect that you absolutely want to avoid. It's one thing to recognize the symptoms of liver inflammation, but understanding the true causes behind it? That's where real transformation begins. Most people assume that liver problems only happen to heavy drinkers or those living with a diagnosed disease. But the reality is far more subtle and far more widespread. Inflammation in the liver can begin from habits that seem ordinary, even harmless. That's the tricky part. The most damaging contributors often look like everyday choices. Take sugar, for example. Not just candy or desserts, but the added sugars hiding in sauces, breads, yogurts, and especially sodas. One of the biggest culprits is high fructose corn syrup, a sweetener commonly found in North American processed foods and beverages. When consumed in excess, it doesn't just spike your blood sugar, it overwhelms your liver's metabolic capacity. Unlike glucose, which is used by many cells in the body, fructose is processed almost exclusively in the liver. And when the liver gets more than it can handle, it starts storing the excess as fat. Over time, this contributes to inflammation and even non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. But sugar isn't acting alone. Processed foods loaded with preservatives artificial additives, and hydrogenated oils place constant stress on your liver's detox systems. These substances force the liver to work harder to neutralize what shouldn't be there in the first place. It's like asking someone to clean up a spill every single hour of the day. Then there are medications. Painkillers like acetaminophen are widely used and often seen as safe. But what most people don't realize is that regular or excessive use, especially combined with alcohol, can quietly damage liver cells. The same goes for certain cholesterol medications and even herbal supplements when used without proper guidance. It's not that these things are inherently harmful. It's that the liver can only process so much at once. Even your personal care products play a role. Many soaps, lotions, and cosmetics contain endocrine-disrupting chemicals like parabens or phthalates. Over time, these tiny exposures add up, especially when applied daily. And yes, the liver is responsible for breaking these down too. Let's not forget alcohol. While it's a known risk, what's surprising is how little it takes to cause inflammation for some individuals. Even moderate regular consumption can be enough, especially if combined with poor diet, stress, and lack of sleep. And stress? That's not just an emotional burden. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which interferes with blood sugar control, digestion, and detoxification. It creates a biochemical environment where inflammation thrives, including in the liver. Now here's the unexpected twist. Some people trying to live a healthier life can also trigger liver inflammation unknowingly. Extreme diets, aggressive detoxes, or fasting without proper nourishment can stress the liver if it's already inflamed. Suddenly cutting calories, removing food groups, or loading up on supplements can backfire. The liver doesn't heal faster through extremes. It heals through balance. Understanding these causes allows you to act differently. It's not about removing everything from your life. It's about reducing the burden. Swapping sodas for water infused with citrus or herbs, choosing whole, colorful foods instead of packaged ones, being mindful with medications and reading the labels of what goes on your skin, not just what goes in your body. Your liver is your body's internal pharmacist. It filters, processes, transforms, and defends. But like any system, it can be overwhelmed. And when that happens, the early signs might go unnoticed, but the long-term effects won't. By making small, informed changes, you can give your liver space to breathe and regenerate. But here's what truly makes the difference: knowing how to recognize the signs before they escalate. Because many people only find out something was wrong when they're already in the danger zone. And that's why what comes next is absolutely vital. You're going to discover the subtle yet powerful ways your body warns you before lab tests ever do. These signs can be your greatest allies in prevention. Ignoring them won't just hold you back. It can lead to side effects that slowly steal your energy, your clarity, and your health. Sometimes the most important warnings from your body are the quietest. Before any scan, before any diagnosis, your body often gives clues that your liver is inflamed. But these signs are rarely obvious, and that's why they matter so much. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night for no reason, especially between 1 and 3 a.m. According to traditional practices, that time frame is when the liver is most active in detoxification. If you find yourself restless or sweating during those hours, your liver might be working overtime. Then there's your tongue. That might sound odd, but the tongue can reflect a lot about internal health. A swollen tongue with teeth marks on the sides, a thick white or yellow coating, or a bitter taste in the mouth upon waking, all can be signs of liver stress. These are things most people overlook, yet they hold incredible insight. Another early sign? Bad breath that doesn't go away even with proper hygiene. When the liver struggles to filter toxins efficiently, those toxins find other ways out, often through the lungs and breath. Similarly, strong-smelling urine or stool, especially if accompanied by changes in color or frequency, can be subtle signals that the liver isn't functioning at its best. Look at your skin. Are there small red or purple spots, persistent rashes, spider-like veins on the chest or torso? These changes can result from changes in blood flow and detoxification patterns. Chronic itching, especially without visible irritation, can also point to liver imbalances, particularly when bile flow is reduced. You might notice changes in your eyes too. Mild yellowing of the whites or a frequent sensation of dryness or burning are worth paying attention to. Even puffy eyes or dark circles that don't seem to improve with rest can be connected to liver stress. Let's talk about digestion again. If you feel heavy or sleepy after eating, especially after high-fat meals, that could be a sign your liver isn't producing enough bile. Bile isn't just about digesting fat. It's essential for absorbing fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. Without enough bile, nutrient absorption suffers, leading to fatigue, weakened immunity, and even mood instability. Even your appetite holds clues. A sudden disinterest in food, nausea at the thought of eating, or the opposite, strong cravings for salty, greasy, or sugary foods, could mean the liver is trying to compensate for internal imbalances. And what about body temperature? Do you feel unusually cold in your hands and feet, even when it's warm? That could relate to slowed circulation, a side effect of an overburdened liver struggling to keep the blood clean and balanced. It's important to remember that no single symptom tells the full story. But when you begin connecting these dots, a little brain fog, a mild skin reaction, disrupted sleep, digestive oddities, they start to form a picture. These signs are not something to fear. They are your body's language. Its way of telling you that something needs attention, not panic, but action. The key is to observe with curiosity and compassion. Start tracking patterns. When does the fatigue hit? What foods make you feel worse? What improves your energy? These simple observations become powerful tools in your journey toward healing. Because when you can identify early signs, you can respond early. And early action is the most effective action. Supporting your liver before the situation becomes critical means less invasive interventions, fewer complications, and a much higher chance of full recovery. But what many people miss is how to help the liver recover once these signs appear. That requires specific, natural strategies that work with your body, not against it. And if done incorrectly, even well-intentioned remedies can lead to more harm than good. What comes next is one of the most important steps, not only because it shows you how to calm inflammation naturally, but because doing it the wrong way could delay your healing, or even trigger unexpected effects. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. Once you've identified the early signs of liver inflammation, the next step is giving your body what it truly needs to heal, and that begins with restoring balance. The liver has an extraordinary ability to regenerate, but it needs the right environment to do so. When it's inflamed, pushing it with harsh detoxes or extreme diets can make the problem worse. What actually works is supporting it gently, consistently, and intelligently. Start with hydration, but not just any kind. Drinking plain filtered water throughout the day helps flush waste and reduce toxic buildup. Add a squeeze of fresh lemon in the morning to stimulate bile flow. This simple ritual supports digestion and gently activates the liver without overstimulating it. Your plate matters more than you think. Focus on foods that provide natural anti-inflammatory compounds. Leafy greens like arugula, kale, and dandelion leaves are rich in chlorophyll and bitter compounds that stimulate liver function. Beets, with their deep red pigment, support phase 2 liver detoxification. Cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and Brussels sprouts boost glutathione production, a key antioxidant your liver uses to neutralize toxins. But there's more. Spices play a surprisingly powerful role. Turmeric, known for its bright yellow color, contains curcumin, which helps reduce liver inflammation. Black pepper enhances the absorption of curcumin, and a healthy fat like extra virgin olive oil makes it even more effective. Garlic and ginger are other natural allies. They help activate liver enzymes and support circulation. Chronic liver stress often involves oxidative damage. That's why foods rich in antioxidants are so valuable. Think berries, red cabbage, pomegranate, and green tea. These don't just support your liver, they protect your cells from further harm. Now, many people ask about juicing or fasting. Here's the truth. If your liver is inflamed, intense juice cleanses or long fasts might do more harm than good. Without proper nourishment, your body may mobilize toxins faster than your liver can eliminate them. Instead, opt for gentle resets, balanced meals spaced regularly, with an emphasis on fiber, hydration, and nutrient density. Sleep is often overlooked, but it's absolutely essential. During deep sleep, your body goes into repair mode. The liver processes accumulated toxins and balances hormones. Going to bed before 11 p.m. and aiming for 7 to 9 hours of restful sleep helps ensure these processes are not disrupted. Movement also plays a key role. No need for strenuous workouts. Walking, stretching, or yoga stimulates lymphatic flow, improves circulation, and reduces systemic inflammation. Especially after meals, a light walk can support digestion and prevent fat accumulation in the liver. And here's something most people don't realize. How you eat matters just as much as what you eat. Eating in a calm environment, chewing thoroughly, and avoiding heavy meals late at night all reduce digestive stress and give your liver space to recover. There are also herbal options that, when used correctly, offer powerful support. Milk thistle is one of the most studied herbs for liver health. Its active compound, silymarin, helps protect liver cells and promote regeneration. Dandelion root tea supports bile flow and detoxification. Artichoke extract can help with fat digestion. But these must be used carefully and preferably under guidance, especially if you're taking medications or already have liver concerns. One powerful practice you can start immediately is the removal of key triggers. Begin by reducing alcohol, refined sugars, and processed foods. Replace them with vibrant whole foods, rich in color and variety. Gradually phase in liver-loving habits without overwhelming your routine. This is a process of nurturing, not punishing. The goal isn't restriction, it's restoration. It's about listening to your body and responding with care. And this care pays off. With consistency, you'll notice more energy, mental clarity, better digestion, improved mood, and even healthier skin. These aren't random benefits. They are the signs of a liver that's starting to thrive again. Still, all of this only works when done correctly. Even the best natural remedies can fail or backfire if prepared the wrong way or taken in the wrong context. And that's why the next step is so essential. You're about to learn how to prepare one of the most powerful natural liver supporters the right way. This next method isn't just effective, it can multiply the benefits of everything you've learned so far. But if done incorrectly, it can actually trigger the very inflammation you're trying to calm. Let's get it right. Now that you know how to create the right internal environment for healing, it's time to go one step further. Because while habits are powerful, the way we prepare and combine certain ingredients can either activate their healing properties or block them entirely. One of the most effective and scientifically supported natural compounds for calming liver inflammation is curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric. But here's what many people don't realize. Curcumin by itself has very low bioavailability. That means your body absorbs very little of it unless it's prepared the right way. So how do you turn this golden spice into a true healing ally? It starts with synergy. When turmeric is combined with a small amount of black pepper, something incredible happens. Black pepper contains a compound called piperine, which enhances the absorption of curcumin by up to 2,000%. That's not a typo. 2,000%. It's one of nature's most powerful examples of food synergy. But we're not done. Curcumin is fat-soluble, which means it dissolves and gets absorbed better when paired with a healthy fat. This is where extra virgin olive oil comes in. Known for its own anti-inflammatory properties, olive oil not only supports the liver directly, but also helps deliver curcumin into the bloodstream where it can work its magic. Here's a simple and effective preparation. Take 1 teaspoon of organic ground turmeric, add a pinch of freshly ground black pepper, and mix it with about a teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil. You can use this blend as a base for a morning tonic, add it to warm herbal teas, stir it into a vegetable soup, or drizzle it over cooked vegetables or grains. One particularly effective method is to stir this mix into a cup of warm water with a squeeze of fresh lemon. Drink it slowly, ideally on an empty stomach in the morning. This simple tonic supports bile flow, liver enzyme activity, and gut health, all essential for inflammation reduction and detoxification. But timing and consistency are everything. Taking this once and expecting results won't work. What matters is gentle repetition. Using this preparation daily, once in the morning and optionally once again in the afternoon, gives your liver the support it needs to gradually return to balance. Remember, though, that more is not better. Exceeding safe amounts of turmeric or piperine, especially in supplement form, can irritate the gut lining or interfere with certain medications. That's why it's so important to use this method as a food-based remedy, not as a shortcut or a megadose solution. And this brings us to the bonus insight I promised you earlier. Something often overlooked, yet remarkably effective when used alongside this preparation. White mulberry leaf tea. This gentle tea supports healthy blood sugar levels, reduces liver fat accumulation, and enhances insulin sensitivity. These are key factors when dealing with chronic liver inflammation. When the body becomes resistant to insulin, the liver tends to store more fat, which only worsens inflammation. To prepare it correctly, use dried white mulberry leaves, preferably organic. Add about 1 tablespoon to a cup of hot water, cover, and steep for no more than 5 minutes. Avoid boiling the leaves directly, as this can destroy some of the beneficial compounds. Drink 1 to 2 cups per day, preferably not with meals, to allow full absorption of its active components. Used together, the turmeric blend and white mulberry leaf tea form a powerful duo, one that supports the liver on multiple levels: detoxification, inflammation reduction, fat metabolism, and hormone balance. But more than that, these practices create a ritual, a daily act of self-care that connects you to your body's healing intelligence. When you take this time, consistently, you send a clear message to your body: I'm listening, and I'm willing to support you. That's where real transformation begins. Not in extremes, not in urgency, but in awareness and consistency. If you followed along until now, you've taken powerful steps toward reclaiming your energy, your clarity, and your long-term health. The liver may work silently, but when we care for it with intention, the results speak volumes. Share this knowledge. Let it empower someone else. And most of all, keep going, because your health journey doesn't end here. It evolves with every informed choice you make.